Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we talk about sampling techniques that we normally use to draw the sample from the population of the study. Uh, we mean by we mean by sampling is the process of drawing some units and other times participants or respondents from the population of the study. So the first thing we need to do whenever we draw our sample is to think of our population and selecting the population that suits and helps us uh, answer the research questions and fulfill the objectives of the study. So the population, after defining our own population is known as the entire group of interest that the results of the study can be generalized to, or the group of interest that the results of the study can be generalized to. So that after we select the sample, after we define our population, we need to determine which sample technique is appropriate for our study. Normally, we have to bear in mind we have two main types of sampling techniques. The first type is called probability sampling, while the second type is called non-probability sampling. And probability sampling has the advantage over non-probability sampling in that all members of the population have an equal chance of being selected or drawn from the population. So that if my population is if my population is 1,000 people, all those 1,000 people, if I use non-probability sampling, have the same chance to be selected. So I preserve their right to be preserve the right of selection for all members of the population. While if I conduct non-probability sampling, no, I directly go to the sample that help me or serve me fulfill the objectives of my study. So not all members have an equal chance of being drawn or selected from the population of interest. Okay, back to probability sampling, or what is called random sampling. We have actually four main types of probability sampling. The first type is called simple random sampling, okay, which is actually the easiest type to implement and is the simplest type that and the most commonly used type by researchers whenever we need to select a small sample size and that our population is well defined and relatively we have a small population. So the first type is actually called random sampling. Random sampling, the procedures of selecting random sampling actually requires or implies uh, drawing, okay, some members from the population randomly. It's as simple as this. But how we draw our sample randomly? Normally, we write the names of the respondents or all members of the population. Okay. And as I've just said, it requires us to have a small population. So we need to write the names of uh, population on slips of papers and putting those slips of papers into container. Following that, we need to select some slips of papers randomly until the required sample size is fulfilled. Until the required sample size is fulfilled. So the entire process actually based on selecting some respondents randomly after writing their names on a slips of paper and drawing the names of those participants. Okay, the second type of sampling is actually called stratified random sampling, which is the subject matter of the next video. يعطيكم العافية.